Hey, Robert, my man, it's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate your podcast and what you're doing.
Beautiful, my man. And thank you so very much for being here. And you see, Rob, oftentimes I love to thank my guests for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become an anthem for me. So, firstly, I want to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, Rob, you are on this platform right now because you did invested in yourself. And oftentimes I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. They say
Hmm.
some couple of months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Rob, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches, and not just mangoes. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely moment that day. I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Rob that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to say nope to you. And getting to read a little bit about you, the stuff
Hmm.
that you do, your insights, your philosophies. Oh boy, they're amazing. So I've got to say thank you so very much for doing that yourself. And secondly, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I love mangoes, man. Mangoes is a delicious fruit. So that's a nice.
Beautiful.
I like that parable. That's nice about a tree that looked ugly and didn't have nothing, and then you turn around and one day it's bearing beautiful fruit, right?
Beautiful. I like the fact that you like mangoes. That's a great one. So let's get started. You see, I'm quite excited to have you on the show today, Rob, for two reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Rob, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you
Hmm.
see, Rob, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Rob on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, Rob, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, high opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that
Hmm.
reason, Rob, my man, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Rob got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Rob, over to you.
Sounds good. And man, you sound like a modern day prophet. I love that. We have to always be improving ourselves and seeking knowledge and seeking wisdom and truth from no matter where it comes from. That's a beautiful thing. Good on you for everything that you're trying to accomplish. So, a little bit about me: 10-year United States Navy veteran. After that, I was a police officer for almost 17 years total. And interesting enough, most people in the military, no matter where you serve, whether it's there in Nigeria or here in the US or China, whatever, we're conditioned to be soldiers and warriors and tough and never vulnerable, never um, using our emotion, never being realistic on how we feel and how we process things. And that's a very dangerous and scary thing when you go through all these real world situations and you stack this trauma. And then for most of us, when you're in the military and you decide to get out, or for whatever reason you get out, you do whatever job you did in the military. So for me as a military police officer, it only made sense to go become a police officer. But I didn't deal with that trauma firsthand. So I had trauma as a veteran. Then I had trauma as a police officer. And I was carrying that into my relationships. I was carrying that into society. I was carrying that all around me. And it was nothing but negative, dark, very disturbing thought patterns and feelings and emotions. And I decided that I couldn't operate that way. That wasn't, we're given this beautiful gift of life, right? And we have to use that to become the best version of ourselves. I wasn't the best version of myself. I wasn't trying to be the best version of myself. I was just kind of muddling and mucking through life. And that's no way to live for anybody. So when I made that change, I decided that once I found the theories and things that helped me overcome the darkness, I was going to use my superpowers, so to speak, for good and just try to help as many people as I possibly can.
Amazing, amazing. I love the fact that you discovered your purpose and now you're using that solution to help folks. That's a beautiful one. Okay, so I've got some questions here, all right? So let's start from here. There we go. So what does it mean to turn pain into progress?
So that is the whole mantra behind my brand, my coaching, and who I am. And basically what that means is we all have bad things that happen to us in life, but we have to decide to not let those bad things overtake our life and not make us who we are, not define our characteristics. As humans, being the dominant force in the universe, we're a very resilient people and very resilient purpose and person. And you have to, what I always like to say, be comfortable in being uncomfortable. The only way that we can be the best version of ourselves and the only way we can heal from the bad things is by using that darkness, that trauma, that negativity, the people that say no to us, the people that hurt us, to build back better and become a better version. And that's essentially what turning pain to progress is.
I got that. Instead of allowing all of those negativities to bring you down or drain your energy, instead, you use it to keep going up, higher and higher. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
I got that. I got that. So, what about this one? What mindset helps people grow through struggles?
The easiest and simplest thing that I found, and what I'm finding as I try to seek knowledge as well, because I want to learn about emotional control and mental health and discipline and different things we can do to become the best version of ourselves. The simplest things are what usually works the best. And for me and for most people, I'm finding out just being thankful, practicing gratitude, right? So when I go to bed every night, I try to think of three things that I'm thankful for. That can be the same three things, that could be three different things. It doesn't matter. But whether I speak to God or the universe or whatever, I just meditate on those three things for a little bit. And you start to realize that no matter who you are or where you're at, there's always somebody else that's worse off than you, right? So why are you going to put negative energy into feeling bad about yourself or feeling bad about what you don't have or can't do? So gratitude, I think, is the easiest thing that anybody, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. It's just a matter of saying, you know what, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for being alive. I'm thankful for being able to walk. I'm thankful for having food in my stomach. And that starts to change your mindset a little bit.
Gratitude, gratitude. I got that. So, let's get personal a bit. So, how did you overcome anxiety and PTSD?
So everything, and that's a great question. And I want to preface it with this. My traumas did not go away, okay? I still have major depressive disorder. I still have PTSD. I still have anxiety. But the idea behind how I coach, how I teach, people I talk to, the idea is to have more good days than bad, right? And if you can just be 1% better every day, you can stack those wins up, and those wins over time are going to help you do better and feel better. For me, how I overcome most of my issues, even when I have a bad day, is one, fitness is a priority in my life. My health, my nutrition, how I move, how I eat, what I put in my body, that's paramount. That's the building block, the basis, because Working out is hard, eating healthy is hard, and taking care of your body is hard. But when we do that, that starts to build mental resilience and mental toughness. That starts to build consistency and discipline, which overcomes motivation. So fitness is first, and then I practice the gratitude. When I wake up every day, no matter how I'm feeling, I tell myself it's going to be a good day. You have to have positive affirmations and positive sayings in your life that help you to overcome those bad thoughts. And then the biggest thing, I guess, is you have to decide with your energy, right? We only have so much energy in the day. We only have so much energy to put into things. So where I used to put in my energy into someone cutting me off or someone getting my food order wrong or someone getting in my personal space, it didn't serve a purpose. All it did was make me have a bad day, right? So you have to put your energy into those things that are going to give you good days, telling your partner that you love them, spending time outdoors, spending time with your kids and guiding them as a parent, being a pillar of society, not a drain on society. And by combining everything in a complete holistic approach, we can almost not heal ourselves completely, but almost overcome, I would say, a good 90% of our mental health issues.
I got that. And that's very practical. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, you mentioned fitness, all right. So, how does fitness connect to mindset and healing?
So, at the end of the day, as I grow older, I'm 48, I want to be able to continue to walk and move. Thinking about losing movement, that's kind of a scary thing, right? I want to be able to go upstairs. I want to be able to carry groceries, chase my kids around, chase my grandkids around, whatever. So, taking care of our body is paramount. But when I use fitness as a non negotiable, I have certain things in my life that I don't negotiate no matter what. And fitness is one of them. So, at the most and at the best, if I can, I try to work out 5 days a week, and I do that first thing in the morning. So what that does is two things. One, it keeps me consistent because once again, I don't always feel like working out or I don't always feel like eating healthy, but I do it because I know it's necessary. Two, that helps my mental health because I'm doing something hard first thing in the morning. So that builds me up to have wins throughout the rest of the day. And three, it helps us shift our perspective, right? Because if you're doing a push up and you can only do 10, but you push to do 11, that's a very rewarding feeling. If you used to lift 50 pounds and now you're lifting 60 pounds, you start to see the goals and the wins and you start to see the result of your work. And everybody wants to see those wins. Everybody wants to see those results. So that's why fitness is paramount in building not only physical and emotional resilience, but mental resilience as well.
I got that too. So, we have a few more questions left. So, how do you help veterans find purpose again?
Basically, I like to put the warrior back in the fight. I don't know how it is for your military, but here in the U.S., essentially, no matter what branch we're in, as soon as we get out, we lose everything, right? So when you're in the military, you're told what to do, how to do it, when to do it. There's manuals, there's structure, there's routine, everything guiding you exactly to be the person you're supposed to be. But as soon as you get out, there's not really any resources. You lose your community, especially if you move to a place where, maybe there isn't that many veterans or your family doesn't come from a line of veterans. So it's about building that tribe again and being that battle buddy, as we call it, as a person that I have your back and I'm going to help you figure things out, whether that's getting them help to find what their purpose is, what kind of job they need, help with their disability, getting back healthy again. Because when we lose everything, we tend to get depression, that negativity sets in. And that's where veterans get overweight. That's where they stop working out, stop taking care of their health, stop taking care of their mental health. And that's where we start to decline. So it's very important that when I deal with a veteran to understand that you can be a warrior even if you're not serving your country anymore and you can get back in that fight.
And that's a great perspective. You can get back in the fight. I got that. So, what does battle harder mean to you?
So Battle Harder is essentially the name of my podcast. And what I did with that is an extension of my brand, Battle Fitted. I want to be a storyteller, as you're talking about obtaining knowledge and searching for wisdom and all this stuff. I think storytelling is still important. The only difference is, like back in ancient times when people would sit around a fire or in a coliseum, we get to spread this journey to the world. What a beautiful thing that I'm talking to you and you're in Nigeria right now and I'm here in the US and we're having an open conversation about mental health. So that's very important to me, to be able to be a storyteller and tell these tales of people overcoming adversity, having mental health professionals and other coaches on my show to talk about what they do to deal with mindset. Because at the end of the day, I want to be a teacher and a healer. And if someone comes to my podcast and they see a show about someone who has emotional eating problems or someone that has mental health problems or brain issues, and they resonate with that person, they might reach out to them and ask them for help to heal. And that's what it's about, is helping as many people as I can.
Beautiful. That's a great mission, and I love what you're doing. Okay, my man, so to bring this to an end, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those folks who would like to reach out to you, learn more about everything we've discussed so far, or become a listener of your podcast or your brand, how can that be possible?
So the way anybody can find me is through my website, which is battlefittedbrand.com. That's battlefittedbrand.com. I'm on every social media platform at Battlefitted, with Instagram being my biggest following. So you can always DM me on Instagram at Battlefitted. But what I want to leave with the community or whoever hears this, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what's happening in your life, you are not alone. There are people, there are doctors, there are teachers, there are parents, there are mothers, there are sons. Everybody deals with trauma. We just deal with it all in different ways. We all have some kind of trauma. Remember that you are stronger than you think. You are not alone. You are loved. You have purpose. Your life has value. And you have to remember to find a way, no matter what that looks like for you, to be able to turn your pain into progress.
Profound words. You have purpose, your life has value. I got that. So that's going to be the end of the show, my man. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing these beautiful words with us. It means a whole lot. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.